Well. You're back. You want more Halloween videos, some more Halloween horror game reviews, eh? Well, you come to the right place, because this is TTBurger Game Reviews, and I am your host, Tony. And come back to more of my game reviews here, as we are on episode 155, part 2 of 2, as we are taking a look at the Galerians franchise. And those of you missed what happened in the first part, episode 155, part 1 of 2, here you go. A TTBurger recap will show you all what you missed, as I took a look at the original Galerians for the PlayStation released in the year 2000, and gave it an 8 out of 10 because it was a great game. It's just that there were some problems I have with, like, with the voice acting, and like the enemy AI at times too, and stuff, and more. But it's a game that definitely is worth checking out. If you like games like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and Parasite Eve 2 and stuff, and survival horror games and stuff, this game is for you, definitely. But now we're gonna zoom ahead to the PlayStation 2 era, as like survival horror was already breaking into the 6th generation of gaming with the PlayStation 2, the Nintendo GameCube, the Microsoft's Xbox, and more. And it happened with the success of Galerians in Japan and stuff. We were given a sequel here. Of course, like there was this movie Galerians Reon, which is basically the first game in movie form and stuff. But we never really got a sequel to the game and stuff like that until the year 2003, well 2002 in Japan, but 2003 for us in North America. And we got the game right here. This is Galerians Ash, made by Polygon Magic and Sammy Studios, released for the PlayStation 2 exclusively. Now, Galerians Ash is a good game, just not as good as its predecessor. It makes changes. While some of the changes are good, it's just that some of the changes leaves you wondering, why did it make these changes just in the first place? Especially for like the PlayStation 2, you'd think that they would build what they were good at in the first game and fix the problems with the first game and make them better here. But unfortunately, that's not the case here and stuff. It's still a good game, just not as good as its predecessor, and I will explain why. But in the meantime, let's get started here. The story of Galerians Ash basically takes place immediately after the first game, where Rion Steiner and his friend Lilia Pascal learn and reach the computer program Dorothy. And I gotta spoil some stuff here, and so I'm gonna say it here. Rion learns that he's not the real Rion Steiner. That Rion that you played as in the first game was a Galerian. The original Rion Steiner died a while ago and stuff before the game. And then you meet the final boss called Kane, who is basically Rion's Galerian twin brother and stuff. And it basically talks about how Dorothy went AWOL and started creating Galerians in her own world and stuff like that and stuff. And basically, it starts off with like the final battle where you're inside Dorothy's system and start that to try and destroy her. And then after that, when Dorothy is destroyed, they do this system to try and like stop the program overall. But problems happen, and Lilia puts Rion into sleep for 6 years, and he wakes up and finds out that Dorothy is destroyed, but she's produced more Galerians, including the main villain Ash. And it basically shows now that Lilia is now a computer scientist, like following in her father's footsteps, and she has backup data for Rion's personality and the remains of Dorothy's system, and she brought Rion back to life. And their goal is to try to stop the last of the Galerians, including the leader known as Ash, and end the nightmare once and for all. The story is actually pretty good, and I like how the story is played out because it shows what happened, and it has a little recap for people who didn't play the original Galerians like that and stuff. And so it definitely showed there that Galerians Ash cares about its characters and its story and stuff like that. Although it adds new characters that I don't care about her, so like someone like the NPCs and stuff like that, like your teammates stuff, I don't care much about them. But still, like, Galerians Ash story delivers really well, and it definitely does a good job there. for the game's graphics actually look really good. I mean, like, if you look at the CG cutscenes, they almost look like they're on par with the movie Galerians Rion, and it's like they took the art style and the character models for that game and put them in there and improved them to make them for the sequel and stuff, definitely. And the graphics do a good job for the cutscenes. But, like, for the in-game graphics, they do look good, but some things I have a problem with. For a start, the character models do look good, although the lip syncing once again is still not the best for the English voice acting, but still, I mean, like, the character models do look good. They have a lot of facial animations in them and stuff, and like even the NPCs around you in the backgrounds do look good, although a lot of them look the same because they got those uniforms on. But still, the character models look good. But the backgrounds, on the other hand, though, the backgrounds, a lot of them look pretty bland and generic. Like, if you go around, they have like a lot of bland and generic looking rooms and stuff, which just keeps to the head wondering, why do they make them look bland looking? Like, the first game had cool looking environments to go around. Like, you had the hospital, you had your house, the Rion's house and stuff, and then you had the lab, and you had Dorothy's mine and stuff. But here and stuff, it's just that you're in this generic looking lab, and more, it just doesn't really look that good, in my opinion. It just doesn't really look that good. I mean, graphics are good. It does have a smooth frame rate, so yeah, it does have a very good frame rate. So still, I'm just saying there, just that the backgrounds just are one of my least favorite parts of the game, but still the graphics, for the most part, they get the job done. Sound, I have to say, is probably one of my least favorite parts of the game. The voice acting is, once again, not very good. While Rion's voice is a little bit better than it was in the first Galerians, he doesn't sound like a whiny boy and stuff like that. Here he sounds better. But here he sounds like a whiny adult and stuff, which his voice sounds better, but just not that much, is what I'm trying to say there. And once again, no Japanese option. And you hear how good the Japanese voice acting is. Why couldn't we get in this? I don't know. I mean, I understand that for the PS1 it was space, but this was the PlayStation 2. This was a DVD-ROM. They could have had said some more. They could have put the time to put it on the disc there and stuff. I mean, they could have just put subtitles there because there's no subtitle option. So I guess if you would have put it in Japanese, you wouldn't understand what's going on. But still, just that voice acting is just not very good. Music is okay. I mean, I didn't really care much for the music and stuff. I mean, the music was okay. Just, while the music is okay, it comes off as kind of generic at times as well, just like the background, so I'm just saying there. So sound could have been better, but like the other sound effects, like when Rion uses his powers and stuff, they sound good, but that's just only good part about the sound there. Now we're into the gameplay here, and gameplay we got let's talk about here. This time, it's very different gameplay-wise from the first game. This time, it doesn't have fixed camera angles like it was in the first game. Here, it's pretty much behind the back. With the camera, you can't really control at all. So, yeah, it's one of those third-person behind-the-back type of games, stuff like that, which feels more like an action game than a survival horror game. And to be honest with you, I don't hate this or like this because like it still plays well. So, that's just me though. But like one of the main complaints I have about the game is that it's like the game just feels way too easy for the most part. There, like you have a lot of recovery items and delmeters and stuff like that and stuff, which they pretty much give you pretty much after I defeat almost every enemy. So, I mean, like sure, I mean like some people complain how like the items were like very scarce and far-fetched throughout the level and stuff, but it added challenge. Here, I just feel like when it comes to certain stuff, it holds your hand a little too much there, and that's just like, why do they do that? I don't know, but like it's just, I just wonder why they pretty much made it a little too easy like there and stuff. I mean like like when you're fighting the enemies, like swarms of enemies over and over, like they're very easy. You can just like abuse your powers, like your Nylon or your Red and stuff like that, and just like do that. You push defeat the enemy very quickly and stuff. But like you can only target one enemy at a time unless you use your D felon power, which pretty much lifts enemies in the air and stuff, and except and throws them down on the ground. That's pretty cool there. Like I didn't mention that in the first review, so I apologize there. But it still plays like Galerians. Just that it just feels a little too easy there. And I know it's kind of a turnoff for people who like challenge there and stuff. I mean, the only challenging part I can say about the game is the boss fights. I mean, the boss fights do actually put up a challenge there, and you can die at first if you're not good with the game at first. But still, like most part, the game is easy, and you'll pretty much blow through it in like I don't know, like 6 or 7 hours or so. But still, like yeah, I mean, it's like you'll be going around looking for items and like trying to find where to go from point A to point B. It's like you gotta quite think on your feet there and stuff. So yeah, there's some challenge here, just that it could have been better. I mean, it's got decent gameplay, except it's a little too easy. It's got not very good sound and stuff, and like bland looking environments there and stuff. It's still one of my top favorite horror Halloween games on the PlayStation 2. But when you compare it to the predecessor, you wonder, why didn't this get the same love and care as the original Galerians did and stuff, is what you wonder. I mean, it's cool to be able to play as Rion again, it's cool to see Lilia, it's cool to battle Galerians again, it's cool to have a little recap with what happened when Rion defeated Dorothy and you found out that he wasn't the real Rion Steiner. The real Rion Steiner had been dead for a while. He was one of the first Galerians created by Dorothy, and that's what happened there. So it's like trying to figure out who you are, which was pretty cool, but now it's like you are trying to defeat Galerian Dash and stop him and stuff. That's what it is there. And aside from that, though, there isn't much else to say. I know it's like I'm talking a lot of negatives there, but believe me, it's still a good game. Just not the best game. It's nowhere near as good as the predecessor, but still. It's still going to get a decent score, in my opinion. Like I said before, if you like Galerians, you want more Galerians action, Galerian Dash is the way to go. Just be warned, it just comes off as a little light on content and a little shallow, a little too easy for people who like the predecessor, but still, it's still worth owning a collection if you want to travel to the year 25, 28 and stuff, 6 years after what happened in Michelangelo City. I should mention that, like, you actually do go to Michelangelo City, and everyone is gone. After the Galerian incident, everyone left. The city's abandoned after 6 years, so yeah, it just, everything went to decay and stuff for Michelangelo City, but still, Galerians Ash is still a good game, just could have been better, I'd say. Due to the complaints I have with the game, the score I can give it is a 7 out of 10, because of the problems I have with it. Still a good score, it's not as good as the first game, but still does have its moments there, definitely. And that's pretty much all I gotta say for episode 155, part 2 of 2. We are coming up to the end of October, and we have a couple more videos out for coming up for the Halloween time and stuff like that. So be on the lookout. Halloween season is not over yet. I mean, sure, Halloween will be this Saturday, but just be on the lookout there. I got some special planned for Halloween week, so be on the lookout for that. Which is all I gotta say. Now, if you like what you see here, subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and join my Discord group, TTBurger Games. There's always looking for more people to join. The link is in the description below, so click the link, because it's a permanent link. Like I said many times before, it won't go away after 24 hours, so be on the lookout, because there's more on the way, and just click the link if you want to join. Which all I gotta say is, it's Tony, peace out, and have a great day, and see you all in episode 156.